Welcome to My Hometown, the program that explores clubs, organizations, businesses, and issues across Nassau and Suffolk counties and sheds light on the different towns that are making a difference.
Hello, and welcome to My Hometown. My name is Bill Horan, and I'm here with my co-host, Nassau Community College student, Corey Cool. And today we're shining the spotlight on a not-for-profit corporation dedicated to improving the quality of life for children with cancer.
Now, the Sarah Grace Foundation provides comfort and support to the families of children who are suffering from cancer.
And joining us today is Matthew Weippert, founder and executive director of the Sarah Grace Foundation. Matthew, welcome to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College 90.3 WHPC.
Hello, and thank you for having me here.
Now, Matthew, can you tell us just what is the journey like and how the foundation started in memory of your daughter?
The foundation began about 4 months after Sarah passed away from leukemia. She was 12 years old. She had been sick for 9 months. The 4 months directly after she passed, we tried, my wife, our son, and I tried to pick up the pieces and put ourselves back together as a family of 3 and not a family of 4. We looked back over our journey while Sarah was sick, and we realized that there were areas where we had a great deal of support from the community and family, and we realized that there were some areas that we needed help, and many people we met along Sarah's treatment path did not have any of that support. So we made a decision, my wife and I, to form the foundation as a 501c3 charity, to be an all-volunteer organization, to help other families and children going through the journey that we had just gone through and to try to make their journey perhaps a little more easier than ours.
And you give these people support as well as financial assistance when and where needed.
That's correct. We work directly with the social workers and child life specialists on the pediatric cancer centers throughout Long Island, the Bronx, New York City. And we rely on them to guide us as to what families need support, what kind of support they need, and we will provide that. And it can be something as simple as a child wants a particular toy, and the family, due to the financial hardships of childhood cancer, cannot get them that toy. So we will look to provide that and some financial aid for help them with household bills, meals, transportation, whatever is suggested by the hospital staff.
They must see you as an angel from heaven when these things are happening, not only for your companionship and support, but certainly the financial assistance.
I'm not sure how they perceive us as angels, but they certainly are very appreciative of the support that we can provide.
Now, to double back, when you found out about your daughter's disease, how did you and your wife stay positive? And was there anybody there to support you through this tough time?
We had a great deal of support from family and hospital staff, but ironically, the biggest piece or arm, I'll say, of support that we had came directly from Sarah. Sarah was just an incredible child with a personality that wouldn't quit, never looked at herself as sick. She would wake up after every bone marrow aspiration or a spinal tap and immediately say, I need a snack and I need a craft, and just kept going. We got our strength from Sarah while she was sick, and we still have that strength today.
It's amazing.
And what a great job you did, and what a great memory for Sarah that she can be helping others now years after her passing. So I think that's really great.
Thank you.
How does the Sarah Grace Foundation provide that comfort and support for the families that have a child with cancer? What do you actually do on a day-to-day basis?
On a day-to-day basis, we receive referrals from the hospital staff. We have a referral tab on our website where hospital social workers or a family member, anyone can send us a referral. And we, if it's a social worker, will reach directly back to them and discuss what their request is for the family. If it is a family member, we'll usually ask them, where some questions about the child, where they're being treated, and then we'll work through the social workers to help, again, guide us as to what help they need.
And you mentioned there's a website, so would you tell us what that website is?
Yes, our website is thesarahgracefoundation.org.
And we will ask you that again throughout the show, so if someone didn't get it down, don't worry. But we have a lot of great little businesses here on Long Island. The small law firm, the doctor's office, the accounting firm, the architect. If someone wants to get involved, how would they do that with you? Do they contact you? Do you align them with some volunteer work they could do?
We certainly, as an all-volunteer organization, are always looking for volunteers to help, either with our fundraising or some of the programs that we do sponsor for the children. We can always be reached by phone at 516-433-9745, or we can be emailed through our website, thesarahgracefoundation.org.
And also, here we are broadcasting from Nassau Community College. What a great way for a college student here at Nassau or any of the great colleges on Long Island, or a high school student to contribute, to help out, get some real-world experience, see what goes on, what it takes to put on an event, how to raise funds, to get out there. So this could be a resume builder for some people if they have the right motives behind it.
Absolutely. We've had many younger children who have needed community service for their school for many reasons, and have reached out to us and helped support us with a number of the programs that we do.
That's I didn't think of that, but of course the students have community service projects that they have to do, and what a great way to do it, to help someone who was of their own age when she passed. And again, it's the luck of the draw. It could be them, and maybe someday they'll need this assistance, so they can be out and helping people all over the place.
Absolutely.
You spoke about the initiatives, and we briefed about the initiatives kind of off the air. Would you mind just telling us a little bit about the BEAD program and what that's all about?
The BEAD program is something that my wife and I always said that if we never started the foundation for what it is now, we would have what we call the BEAD program. Sarah was always into arts and crafts. One of the things was making little necklaces and bracelets and things of that nature. So our BEAD program very basically is a very large collection of glass and wood beads, all different colors, shapes, and sizes. And a child who volunteers to participate upon their diagnosis will work with the Child Life staff at the hospital with everything that we sponsor, provide the beads and all the supplies. And they can take the beads. There's a bead for every aspect of their treatment: chemotherapy, radiation, bad day, good day, back to school. And in a nutshell, they can make a necklace, a chain, whatever they like with those beads as they receive those through their course of treatment as they undergo each of those aspects.
All right. You are listening to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Corey Cool, along with Bill Horan, and today we are talking about the Sarah Grace Foundation with founder, executive director, and father to Sarah Grace, Matthew Weippert. What can a child expect in their travel suitcase?
Our little travel suitcase, aptly named the Escape Hatch, looks like an old suitcase you'd see in a very old movie where people would travel and put stickers from all the places they've traveled on the suitcase.
I'm old enough to remember that.
There you go. Our travel suitcase, Escape Hatch, is decorated to look like a suitcase like that. We came up with the name the Escape Hatch because we want the child on a new diagnosis to open up that box and escape from all the negativity that is surrounding them by learning about their disease and the treatment that they're going to have to endure. So in that box, they typically will have a bandana or a pillowcase with artwork that they can color and draw and make it their own. Disposable camera. Sarah loved taking pictures when she was in treatment. Mad Lib books, pencils, pens, notebooks, anything, crayons and things of that nature. Anything that puts them back into the world of being a child.
Gets them back in there. And
Yes.
Who came up with that idea? Because I think it's great.
My wife Marissa and I.
That's a very creative idea and very cool idea. Now, I know there's something else, and you're going to have to explain this because it's called Gabe's Chemo Duck Program. And is that for the little kids who have cancer?
It's for any child who is a new diagnosis of cancer. More of the younger children may participate in it initially. I think as the children get into their early to mid-teens, they might feel they're a little too old for this chemo duck. Chemo duck is, just as its name, it is a stuffed toy duck. And we provide that in two different ways. There are two types of ways that the chemotherapy is administered. One is through a Metaport, which is under the skin. Mm-hmm. The other are Broviac ports with the tubes that come out and physically hang out of your skin. Sarah at one time had both. So what the chemo duck is, it's a toy duck. It has either the Broviac tubes coming out or the Metaport, whatever the child's going to have. The child gets this as their own personal toy, and it's used as a therapeutic teaching tool where the social workers and child life specialists can explain to the child how their medication is going to be administered, teach them to care for the ports of their duck like their ports will be cared for, and it's their own personal toy. And the beauty of it is that the way it is designed and the size of it, and we're very proud to be a sponsor of that program, you can personalize it much further than what it comes with by going to Build-A-Bear and buy any accessories you would buy for a Build-A-Bear toy and use it on your duck.
I just want to repeat that because I think it's such a great idea. I thought it was just a cute duck with the name Gabe or something like that. But the duck actually has the toy duck, if I'm right.
Correct.
Actually has the same medical situation going on as the child would.
That's
so
correct.
Instead of feeling different, they say, oh, my little duck who has a pain in his foot, if they have a pain in their foot. But these are the, how did you explain it, the tubes that have to
the tubes that hang out of the chest are Broviac tubes. The port, which is under the skin, is a Metaport. So if the child is going to have a Metaport implanted, and that's how they're going to receive their chemo, then they would get a duck which has the Metaport.
That's so great. I don't know if that's the hospital that came up with it or, again, your organization.
Actually, as I said, we are very proud to be a sponsor of it. It's actually originated by a young mother in Tennessee whose son had cancer, and his name is Gabe. He's doing very well, I'd like to add. And he was very over-anxious and scared for his treatments. So his mother had taken a stuffed toy and made a mock CAT scan machine out of a cardboard box and had the stuffed toy go through all of those procedures, and that put him at ease. So throughout his treatment, she came up with this idea, and when we met up many years ago, we jumped on it very quickly because we saw it as something which very much would ease the anxiety of the children that we were trying to work with.
I would think the kids would love that, and it lets them
cute.
Identify with a pet that has the same thing that they do going on, and I think that's terrific. That mother should get I don't know if there's a special prize for being creative or whatever, but definitely she should be in line for it. Matt, at this point in the show, would like to take a break. I'd like to let my audience know that I'm Bill Horan. I'm here with Corey Cool, and today we're talking about the Sarah Grace Foundation with founder, executive director, and father of Sarah Grace, Matthew Weippert. You're listening to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
And now we return to My Hometown.
Thanks for being with us here today on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm Bill Horan, along with Corey Cool, and today we're talking about the Sarah Grace Foundation with the founder and executive director and the father of Sarah Grace, Matthew Weippert.
So the Sarah Grace Foundation hosts a lot of fundraisers. And what are some of your favorites that, you guys put together?
Our largest fundraising event for many years has been a comedy night that we've hosted at the Milleridge Cottage for many years. And we work with an MC who brings in 3 or 4 comedians, and we have a full night of stand-up comedy, a sit-down dinner, and typically about 60 to 70 wonderful raffle prizes. And that one fundraiser alone provides a great deal of our support that we utilize throughout the year.
Now, Corey, I'm going to interrupt and just ask, is this that comedians come in and people come to listen to them, or do people like you and I and in the audience get up and try to make the others laugh?
Well, I try to make the others laugh, but they usually knock me off the stage.
They do, okay.
But no, our MC will bring in the comedians.
Oh, so they're professional comedians.
They're professional stand-up comics from the local area.
Good.
From Long Island.
That's great.
And they'll all do their piece. And we have, so as I say, a full sit-down dinner. It's just a wonderful evening.
And when do you normally plan that? When is that set up?
The comedy night is typically the first week of April each year.
Okay. Now, how important are these fundraisers to the foundation?
Very critical. As an all-volunteer organization, we rely on these fundraisers like our comedy night throughout the year. And in a nice weather, we have garage sales, bake sales. In the fall, we have a holiday raffle, which gives a prize throughout the month of November, the 30 days of prizes, and people can win every day. Their raffle ticket stays in the pool. All of these put together help provide for the programs like the Escape Hatch and the Bead program, Chemo Duck, financial aid, and all the other aspects of what we provide throughout the year.
And Matthew, also I'm going to ask you, once again, I like to tell our audience throughout the show, in case they're only hearing a piece of the show, the Sarah Grace Foundation, what is the website? How would someone get in touch if they say, I'd love to volunteer or help out these kids?
Our website is thesarahgracefoundation.org. We can also be reached by phone at any time at 516-433-9745.
And we'll ask you that again once more time before the end of the show, so if someone wants to write it down. And also I'll tell our audience that if you know someone who may want to participate or be involved, you can go to nccradio.org and just look for the My Hometown podcast and let them listen to it. They can find out more about the Sarah Grace Foundation, how they can get involved, and everything we're talking about today. Now, Matthew, how close do you work with hospitals or other foundations to help these children get back on track again?
We work hand in hand with the social workers and the child life specialists at the hospitals throughout Long Island and the New York metropolitan area, basically. And we rely on them to present the family to us with their guidance and expertise and tell us what help the family needs. And that could be, as they say, a toy, financial aid. A family wants to have an outing to a Broadway show. Perhaps a family needs to get back and forth to treatment, and the child, because of a compromised immune system, cannot take public transportation. Some of our families we've helped don't have cars, so they would rely on buses and taxis. Well, they can't do that with their immune systems, so we would pay for private taxi and car service to get them back and forth for their treatments.
What a good group you have. What a good people.
That is amazing.
Thank you.
Really good, really nice.
Now, what are some of the things about childhood cancer and how it affects the families that maybe people don't know offhand?
One thing I'll say is, in our opinion, it affects the whole family. I always have made the statement that when a child has cancer, the family has cancer. We've had families where, because of the child's illness and the extreme financial burden that it places on the family, other family members and siblings have to discontinue programs. Maybe someone stops playing baseball or stops ice skating. Something else a sibling was doing because they can no longer afford to do that. We try to help in all of those areas. One thing that sets us apart, the Sarah Grace Foundation, apart from other charities, is two primary things. One, we run our foundation out of our home. We don't fund any research. That's for the larger organizations. Everything we do goes direct to helping the children through all of the programs that we sponsor. And the other piece is that we cater also to the siblings of the sick child. Some charities will help the sick child to help the mom and dad with financial aid and not do so much for the siblings. We saw firsthand how it affected our son. Having walked that path and helping these families walk their path, we want that to be a little easier.
Having gone through it yourself, you know all the parts that need help. It's not just something on the surface. And something you mentioned that I'd like our audience to, highlight. By donating, if they so choose to do this, any amount of money to you, every penny goes to the foundation. There's not administrators who are getting paid. You're not making money on this. This is what you do out of love for your daughter, for the foundation, and to help other people.
That is correct. I will be absolutely clear, as we always are. We are required as a business, I hate to say it that it is a business, any charity is, we have to carry liability insurance. So we have to pay for that, and we have to pay for our phone bills.
Okay.
But other than that, everything we raise, and we stretch and budget ourselves pretty well, goes towards the children. I've always looked at it from the perspective that I never want to have to say no to a family or to a social worker. We are blessed that up to this point, almost 17 years, we have never had to say no.
You are listening to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Corey Cool, along with Bill Horan, and today we're talking about the Sarah Grace Foundation with founder, executive director, and father to Sarah Grace, Matthew Weippert. To carry on a little bit, I just want to tell you guys how amazing you are with the work that you are putting in. I hope everybody's listening to understand that. You're definitely making the community proud. Have you had any success stories that have come out of your foundation?
Really, the true definition of a success story. When a family is enduring a severe financial hardship,
right,
and we're able to, pay a car repair, pay their heating bill, and pay their transportation, in some cases even to an out-of-state facility for additional treatments or second or third opinions. We look at all of those as success stories because we're able to help.
That is success.
And that's what you're doing. I mean, that's your role. The doctors and the medical people handle the medical issues, but yours is to help the family and make the burdens a little easier and give them a little companionship, maybe a few jokes here and there to lighten up the moments. So you're doing what you have to do. So now, in dealing with children who have cancer, etc., what are some of the issues that come up maybe with the parents that we wouldn't think of, just sitting here on a radio station?
I think the biggest issue that we see that creates so much of a hardship is when a parent, mother or father, has to discontinue working in order to stay with their sick child, stay by their side, get them back and forth to treatments. That creates so much more of a hardship on the family. We, through the financial aid that we provide, are happy to be able to help them through those times in our way by providing meals, gift certificates for groceries, gas cards, things of that nature. We've had requests to help with rent or mortgage payments. We have a number of times over the years, and a small percentage. Unfortunately, we're not funded enough to be able to do that. So what we normally do, we'll refer a family to one of the larger charities who typically will be able to provide something like that.
But even that, a referral. Now, someone might not know that with all they're going through and the pains and the pressures. You're there, you know what can be done. You know these other avenues that might be open to them. And I think that's great, just that they know this, someone out there that can reach out and give them a hand. So, one
of the things that we, if I can may just add on to that, one of the things we have on our website, I mentioned the Referred Child tab where anyone can refer a sick child, but we also have a resource tab. And that has links to many other treatment and research centers for childhood cancer, primarily based on places that ourselves, when Sarah was sick, that we ourselves had perhaps looked at or at least researched, perhaps Sarah might receive a treatment protocol from another facility that could help her. So we pool together many of those resources, and collectively with some of the social workers we deal with have created that resource tab. So that's a tool for some families as well.
Now, Matthew, before we wrap up, we want you to take a few seconds, tell our audience if they've been hearing these great stories, how they can get involved, give us the website and location, how they can kind of help you out a bit.
Sure. We are, as all volunteer organization, always looking for more volunteers. We can be reached at 516-433-9745 or on the web at thesarahgracefoundation.org.
And if you didn't hear the entire show, you can go to nccradio.org. You'll hear more about what's going on. You'll hear what Matthew is doing with the foundation and how you can get involved, help out, and really feel good about yourself and help one of your neighbors here on Long Island. Matthew, we want to thank you for being here with us today.
It's been a great pleasure.
And for telling us
Bill,
about
Corey,
the foundation.
thank you.
And let our audience know they've been listening to Matthew Weippert. He is the founder and executive director of the Sarah Grace Foundation. Again, thanks so much for being with us and telling us about it. I'm Bill Horan. I'm here with Corey Cool, and today you're listening to this week's edition of My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
We like to get your feedback on My Hometown. Send your comments to WHPC at ncc.edu. Nassau Community College, where success starts and continues. Till next time, this is Bill St. James. And remember, there's no town like your hometown.